Hi everybody, welcome to Small Business Caturday. I'm Yumi Sakugawa, and I'll also be presenting with Naomi, Zoe Ruiz, and Wang. We'll all be presenting stories tonight. Some of them cat related, some of them not cat related. We also have cat themed snacks in the table behind you, so feel free to partake. They are cat shaped cookies, goldfish crackers, Hello Kitty moon pie, all yours to consume tonight. And after our readings, we're going to be doing book signings. Myself, Naomi, and Wang, we all have new fall book titles out, so stick around to buy books, in addition to other cool things you'll find in the store to support Small Business Caturday. And stick around to be crazy cat ladies and just, catty. I just wanted to make two quick announcements before I start. Next Saturday, please mark your calendars, because over here at GR2, there is the Giant Robot Post-it Show, where many artists, including myself and Mari, will have original Post-it art for sale. It's all Post-its are $25 each. And also during the day, Comic Arts Los Angeles, Los Angeles is probably first indie comic festival exhibition will be taking place at a Think Tank Gallery in downtown Los Angeles from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Both free and open to the public. Definitely check it out. So I'm going to be presenting first. I'll be reading an excerpt from my newest book, Your Illustrated Guide to Becoming One with the Universe, followed by a cat story. Lesson 6. Have cake and tea with your demons. There are no divisions in the universe. The universe is oneness. The universe just is. So it is no wonder that many of us feel disconnected from the universe. When we shun our own darkness, our weaknesses, our anger, our sadness, our shame, our pain, we are disconnecting ourselves from the full spectrum of elements that exist within ourselves and the rest of the universe. We are not just light, we are not just darkness. We are everything. When we realize and truly embrace everything that is within us, that is when we can truly feel healed and whole again. So let us get to know our darkness, our demons that exist in the dark shadows of our minds, the aspects of ourselves we feel most ashamed of. Invite your demon for a slice of cake and a cup of tea. So, how's it going? It might feel awkward and uncomfortable at first. Allow the demon to say what it feels like saying, feel what it feels like feeling, think what it feels like thinking. Simply observe and listen with a gentle intention to understand where your demon is coming from. Thanks for coming. Let's do this again. Let the demon say what it wants to say, and then ask your demon to come back another time for more cake and tea. Nice to see you again. Schedule regular tea and cake dates with your demons. Sometimes your demon will give you something in return for your understanding and kindness. Something you can only receive for having the courage to face your darkness. A jewel, a beautiful idea, a key to a secret place. And after a while, you may realize that for this whole time, your demon was afraid of you and was waiting for you this entire time, for your love, compassion, and time. Your assignment from the universe. Prepare different cake and tea combinations for your different demons. For your sad demons, for your unforgiving demons, for your jealous demons, for your angry demons. I hate Mondays. Once you have got to know a good majority of your demons, organize a dance party. And that's the end of that. My next story is my cat story. It's called Moon Between the Mountains. The mini comic version is also sold here at Giant Robot. And I also want to add that I'm actually more of a dog person, but I really love making stories about cats. So this is one of my few cat stories. Please give Kitty good home. God bless. No signature or anything. Poor kitty girl. Kitty definitely shows an exceptional intelligence for her age. However, I am concerned about her lack of progress in speech development. Hey, pussycat, pussy. Pussy got her tongue. You ever talk, pussy? Huh? Leave her alone. Don't forget to eat. Kitty? It's already been 2 years since we ran into each other here. Can you believe it? So don't be mad, but I already asked the sushi chef ahead of time to prepare something special for the both of us. Close your eyes. Okay, open it. Is that a yes? Hey, Kit Kat, let's go out for old time's sake. $20 for a salad? What a joke. Do you think the light is broken or something? No, I don't need my windows cleaned. Thank God the light turned green. Turn back? Are you kidding me? What for? Why are you so mad at me, Kit Kat? I hate it when you shut me out like this. I just want to... Jesus! Thank you. Our next presenter is Wang. So about Wang. Wang is a cartoonist and illustrator currently living in Los Angeles. Her comics and work have appeared in Nickelodeon, Abram Books, LA Magazine, Tor, and Boom Comics. Her first graphic novel, Coco Be Good, was published by her second. In Real Life, which is here at Giant Robot, co-written by Cory Doctorow, is out now. Please welcome Wang.
Hello. Hopefully this isn't too awkward because the PowerPoint I made, the images don't have dialogue in them, so I have to read off a book, which I have to hold at the same time. Just to give you some context, I'm going to be reading a short clip from In Real Life, which is a book written by myself and Cory Doctorow, who is, most people know him as one of the co-founders of Wang, the popular online blog. He also wrote some young adult novels. I think the most well-known one is called Little Brother. So this book, In Real Life, is about this teenage girl named Anda, who is she's a big gamer. She's like super into this massive multiplayer online game, and she discovers this other world she never knew before when she meets this other Chinese boy in the game Force Gold. And it turns out he is a gold farmer, which is something that happens when, and this is a thing, this is a real thing where where players kind of illegally collect valuable items within the games and sell them to gamers with like cash to burn. And this is something that a lot of kind of developing countries have gold farmers because they can just have cheap labor and then sell to people like say in America for. They can sell avatars or like big items within the games for like, for money, and that's how they make money. And it's sort of this becomes a tale of morality and economics, but also about two kids who really love video games. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Class, listen up. We have a guest speaker today. Miss Liza McCombs come all the way from Australia. I hope you give her your full attention. Miss McCombs? Thank you, Miss Bronson. Hello, class. Call me Liza, the organizer. I'm a gamer and I kick ass. No, seriously. I organized a guild online and I'm looking for a few of you chickens to join me. This is Course Gold Online, the fastest growing massive multiplayer role-playing game with over 10 million subscribers worldwide. You might have heard of it. This is my avatar. In-game, they call me the Lizanator, Queen of the Space Planes, El Presidente of the Clan Fahrenheit. So how many of you girls game? And how many of you play girls? See, that's a tragedy. Practically makes me weep. When I started gaming online, there were no women gamers. I was one of the best gamers in the world, and I couldn't even be proud of who I was. It's different now, but still not perfect. We're going to change that, you lot and I. Here's my offer to you ladies. If you will play as a girl in Course Gold Online, you will be given probationary memberships in the Clan Fahrenheit. If you measure up in 3 months, you'll be full-fledged members. So who's in, ladies? Who wants to be a girl in-game and out? Hey Mom, would it be okay if I subscribe to an online game? I need a credit card to sign up. Online? It's only $12 a month and I'll pay for it. I'll get some babysitting gigs, it's just upfront. What's wrong with your offline games? Well, a speaker came to my class today and said it would boost my self-esteem to play with a guild. It's like a team sport. But that means you chat with strangers, right? Yes, but I'm playing with a guild that's for girls and invite only. See, it's even rated T for teen. I don't know, dear. I just don't think it's safe. You know that's where perverts are going to meet kids. Not interested in any of that, Mom. Please, for my birthday. You only talk to other girls your age, you hear? Only girls. Thanks, Mom. entering course goal. Needed warrior and alchemist for raid in Scholar City. Where do I start?
Our next presenter is Zoe Ruiz. Zoe lives and writes in Los Angeles. Her writing has appeared in Ohio Edit, The Weaklings, Salon, Two Serious Ladies, the anthology California Prose Directory, among other places. She is the former managing editor of The Rumpus and current publicity and events associate at Kaya Press. She curates readings, a Los Angeles-based reading series, which, by the way, is super awesome. Please welcome Zoe.
Thank you, Mari and Yumi, for inviting me to review. I am not an illustrator, so I don't have any images, but I have words. So, you can do that throughout. This is called Wait. I had been wanting to cry for weeks, but couldn't. The grief was trapped in my chest and throat, and my entire body began to feel heavy, weighed down by it. The first night he fell asleep with his arms wrapped around me was the first time I heard his heartbeat. I started to cry. I was scared to wake him, scared to wet his skin with tears, and yet I wanted to say thank you. During my session with the dominatrix, she said, "Put all your weight on me." I was naked, lying across her lap, and she felt that I was holding back. I did as she commanded because I wanted to please her. Months later, during my craniosacral therapy session, which is kind of like an energy session, like Reiki, anyway, the therapist said, "Put all your weight on me," and I said, "I'm scared to hurt you." She said, "Honey, I can hold 300 pounds. And I said, "I'm still scared to hurt you." "You're not scared to hurt me," she said. "You're scared to let go." "But you know that," he said. "You know me." I say, "I don't know you." "Oh, you know me a lot better than most." "No," I insist. "I don't know you at all." What I'm saying bothers him, so I pretend like I'm teasing. I say, "I don't know you," with a smile, and even punch him lightly on the shoulder. "This man and I have worked together. We've been friends. We fucked. And now when we embrace, when our bodies touch, I can't smell him or feel his warmth. All I feel is an invisible energy that is thick and ever expanding. It creates space between us, and to articulate this space, I say, "I don't know you." She holds me and says, "Your fatigue is coming from your thoughts." She says, "They are like rocks in your head." She pauses. There is a long silence, and we both close our eyes. She says, "You are worthy." She says, "You don't have to hustle for your worth anymore." I'm lying down on her table, and tears are falling down the sides of my face. I feel them wet my temples. I say, "But I've been hustling for it all my life. How do I just start believing I'm worthy? When do I begin?" She looks at me with a lot of sass, and I laugh and say, "Now, I begin now." She says, "Exactly right." After the craniosacral session, I stand on West 20th Street, and what seems like millions of people move around me. I don't feel out of place. I don't feel overwhelmed by the city. I feel like I've fallen into a different rhythm, my true tempo. My body is relaxed. My mind is quiet. And what rises is this sentence: everything in my life must change. This other column I wrote while at an airport bar, and it's called Airport Bar. I'm at an airport bar at LAX drinking a glass of champagne at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. I'm thinking about how I pitched a column idea to an editor of an online literary magazine in December, and the editor accepted the pitch, and now it's the beginning of April, and I haven't written that column, and it's been a while since I've written a column for Ohio Edit. I don't particularly like airport bars. They lack joy. 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and the bar was already filled. I had to sit next to someone. I had two choices: an overweight man in his 50s drinking a pint of beer, or an attractive young man drinking what looked like hot black tea. Both had put their bags on the bar stool next to them, making it clear they wanted their space, that they didn't want anyone to sit next to them. I walked up to the older man, and he looked at me, and then I looked at his bag, and he said, "My wife is coming." So I turned to the young man. I say young, but he was probably my age. Most of my closest friends are at least 10 years older than me, and now when I see someone my age, I describe them as young. So I said to this young man, who was clearly my age, "Sir, sir," and he removed his bag, and then went back to staring at his phone. I would have taken out my phone, too, but I had left it in my car. As I was drinking a glass of champagne, the older man's wife arrived. She sat down next to him, apologized for running late, and spent the rest of the time on her phone. I glanced at her phone. She was playing a game. It looked like a stupid, brainless game, like a desperate attempt to look at anything that wasn't her husband. He ordered another beer, and this is how they spent their time before their flight together. He was looking at a basketball game on a TV screen, and she looked at a computer game on her cell phone screen. For a moment, I thought I was wrong about Joy, that airport bars lack them, because the man walked into the bar. He wore a tailored suit and stylish glasses. The fact that I use the word stylish suggests I lack style. I don't even know how to describe the glasses. They just looked expensive and good on him. Joan Didion knew how to describe these things. She knew, especially in her earlier work, exactly how to describe clothes and furniture. Of course, she had worked at Vogue, so it made sense. When I was in my early 20s, I wanted so badly to be exactly like her that this obvious difference felt like a wounding. I felt it very strongly when I was rereading Play It As It Lays for the 12th time. The man who drove Mariah Wyeth to her abortion wore duck pants, which aren't pants with duck patterns, white pants, and I had to look up what kind of pants they were. And I realized I would never be Joan Didion because it would never occur to me to describe a pair of pants so specifically, and even if I wanted to, like I want to now with this man's glasses, I couldn't. I've since gotten over not being Didion. I see why I loved her so much, but now see her in a different light, almost fairer, more realistic. I was talking about joy, and I believe much of Didion's work lacks joy. I could argue that Play It As It Lays is a portrait of a joyless life. Back to the man with the tailored suit and stylish glasses. This man came into the airport bar, and he seemed to know the bartender. He smiled at her, he talked with her like he knew her, not like she was a stranger. And because of this, I saw the bartender not just as a woman serving rushed and stressed and sad people their drinks, but as a woman who had friends, who had a life beyond the airport bar, which is an obvious thing to say, but it's not an obvious thing to do, to look at people and see them for who they are, not to reduce them to roles or to what we want to see. It is my belief that the hardest thing to do is to see people as they are and to love them as they are, exactly as they are. As the man with the suit and glasses was leaving, he said he'd be back soon to have a mid-year check-in with her. He said he was happy the bar was busy. I thought I had glimpsed joy in this bar because they knew one another. I assumed their knowing each other was indicative of community, when really it was about business. My best friend just emailed me that she is at the airport gate. We are heading to a Japanese spa located in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I'm closing out my tab and about to shut down my computer. I wish I had a better end, except maybe this is a good end, my rushing and racing to see a friend who knows me and loves me and sees me for who I am.
Our final presenter for the night is Naomi. Naomi is the author and illustrator of the award-winning graphic memoir, Kiss and Tell, a romantic resume, ages 0 to 22, the upcoming Turning Japanese, and her self-published zine, Estrus Comics. Her work has appeared in numerous anthologies, including the Eisner-nominated No Straight Lines, Anything That Loves, Ignatz-winning Queer, and Action Bro Comics. Her comics and essays have been featured on The Rumpus, The Weaklings, Truth Out, sfbay.ca, The Comics Journal, The Bay Citizen, Exo Jane, Midnight Breakfast, and more. She is the creator and curator of the Cartoonists of Color and LGBTQ Cartoonist databases,
And she's also the author of Dragon's Breath, which just came out in late September, and she will also be signing copies of Dragon's Breath. Please welcome Naomi.
Okay, this first one is super short, so don't clap after because it'll embarrass me. This is my cat story, but there's a cat in my longer story. 3 cats, 4 panels. The bunny glitch. Ploy to feign innocence. Spanking. Jealousy. Spooning. And that's it. Don't clap. Okay, the good one. Okay. This next one is appears as a story in Dragon's Breath and Other True Stories, which, as Yumi said, just came out. It's a collection of, reviewers are calling them vignettes, true stories about my life. That's the cover. I was so tired. I hadn't slept in ages. My eyes were sagging, my nerves were shot, and my arms were covered in welts. How did this happen, you might wonder? Sit back, my friend, and let me tell you this chilling tale. It all started with a consoling hangout session with my old friend Cam, who was going through a hard time.
Do you know anything about rashes or hives?
He asked me, and I examined the red bumps on his arm. Cam was in the process of separating from his wife. He was holed up in a tiny ramshackle studio in the Tenderloin in San Francisco, subletted from a sensual masseuse named Ilsa he found on Craigslist. All her stuff lived there, her massage oil-scented life crammed into the walk-in closet whose door he never opened. I examined the inflamed red bumps on his arm and suggested it might be stress-related. Still, I made sure not to brush arms with him just in case. Weeks, 18 months later, we had just consummated the end of our just friendship, upgraded to include benefits. As I drifted off to sleep on his sad bachelor's futon, a feeling of itchiness overcame me. I assumed it was an allergic reaction to the detergent he washed his sheets with. I gotta go, I said. And I tried to assure him I wasn't being squirrely. This wasn't me being relationship phobic, although it's true I was. I just couldn't stand the itch. Call me, he said, and I said I would. I began the trek up to my apartment in Nob Hill, wondering if I should have slept with my friend and thinking probably not. Days later, the itch was still there. I'd scratched so much that there were giant welts forming on my arms and legs. I haven't been able to sleep, I complained. I miss you too. That's not what I mean, I said. And please stop talking to me like I'm your girlfriend. Don't do that to a relationship phobic person. I'm sorry, he said. I don't want to scare you off because I know that we are meant to be together. We compared rashes. Mine looked pretty different from his, but it seemed like too much of a coincidence. Cam had gone to a number of dermatologists, but no one seemed to know what was going on. The last doctor suggested it might be scabies and took a biopsy. Terrified of what insecticide would do to my sensitive skin, I scheduled a dermatologist appointment for myself. Let me know what they say, Cam said, sounding a little scared. Bites, said the youthful Chinese doctor. You're getting bitten by something. I can't do the accent, sorry. Are you sure it isn't scabies, I asked. Quite sure, he said, noting that my belly button was clear and free of bites, and that the navel is a mite's favorite place to roost. He prescribed some cream and recommended Claritin, and I went on my way. As I exited the building, I found Cam to report the prognosis, but before I could get into it, he said, I found a bug under the futon. He described a strange kind of insect, a tick-like creature that moved too slow to save itself. When he squished it, the bug exploded with what was clearly his blood. A bit of internet research came up with photos of bed bugs, which I emailed him. What do you think, I asked. Is this the culprit? Oh, I know, the color was different, he said. That day, Cam received a visit from the exterminator, a tall guy named Jeffrey. Sure enough, bed bugs abounded. Cam told me, when you opened the door to the walk-in closet, at first I thought the wall was painted black. But then I noticed it was moving. An entire colony infested Ilse's dresser, and clearly it had been there for a while. Generations of bugs had made a home of it. A large bug ambled by, and the exterminator popped it dead with his flashlight. Blood splattered everywhere. Jeffrey said, "Yep, that's your blood." Bed bugs live in dark spaces and are prone to hiding in corners, like in between the pages of books and any nook and cranny they can fit themselves into. They emerge from these spaces to feed at night. They're hard to kill, as they're tough to find, and they aren't very susceptible to poison. They've got to eat it to die from it, as their exoskeletons keep them protected. Jeffrey sprayed everything, including the trim above the walls, which proceeded to bleed like something in a horror film. Jeffrey said, "That's your blood right there." Ilse came home from wherever she was and threw out everything she owned, clothes, books, and furniture. Cam got the hell out of there and moved into a weekly hotel right around the corner from me. Throughout all this, I still wasn't sure I had bed bugs. After all, it's pretty rare for them to travel in clothes. Usually they transport via infested furniture items. I scoured my apartment for telltale signs of the bug, but found nothing. No droppings, no molted exoskeletons, no blood on my sheets. But my bites kept getting worse. Each bite would pop up my whole appendage with painful, itchy redness and swollen glands, and I had almost a dozen bites all over my body. Friends suggested it might be fleas or mosquitoes, so I closed my windows and checked my cat for fleas. But the closed windows made the summer heat intolerable, as well as my itching. Oh God, the itching. I couldn't help it. I called Cam. "Hey, what are you doing?" I said. "Missing you," he said. "Are you coming over?" One night I found something. A little soft, beetle-like bug on my pillow that I instinctively smushed. It smushed easily, and I came away with a spot of blood on my hand. Freaked out, I moved to the couch to sleep. But just as I was drifting off, I felt something pierce the skin of my side. I swatted at whatever it was and came away with a handful of my own blood. I called my landlord. "Please send me an exterminator as soon as humanly possible," I pleaded to his answering machine. I hadn't slept well in more than a week, plus I was horrified beyond belief. I had read about how these bugs work, how they'll feed on a person for 4 to 7 minutes at a time. The thought of these creatures piercing my skin for 7-minute stretches triggered my needle phobia. Each time I'd start drifting off to sleep, I'd jolt back awake, full of adrenaline and fear. This would not do. When the exterminator came, it became clear that this was the same guy, Jeffrey, who diagnosed Cam's problem. He didn't seem particularly optimistic about exterminating these bugs. He found one. Just one. An adolescent bug dead in my closet. Teenage suicide. Don't do it. I locked my cat in the kitchen for the next 5 hours as Jeffrey sprayed poison all over my furniture and walls. He said, "It'll take a couple of weeks before they die off. If you don't notice your bite slowing down by then, give me a call. I should come back in a few weeks anyway to respray for hatchlings. Then maybe a few weeks after that, if they don't go away." His words gave me no solace. I kept thinking of the bugs feeding on me for 4 to 7 minutes at a time. For months and months and months. How could I ever sleep in that apartment again? I got rid of my bed. I set up camp on my couch. Naively, I thought the poison would protect me. Still, I inspected every inch of the sofa and then brought out freshly washed pillows and a sheet. Surely I was safe. I laid them out, went to get myself a glass of water, and when I came back, I stared a full-grown adult bedbug in the eye. The son of a bitch was waiting for me to fall asleep. It wanted to eat me alive. For the next few nights, I slept in the hotel with Cam, relationship phobia be damned, with visits during the day to see my cat. Eventually, I graduated to an air mattress, which sucked, but was less painful than the floor and less dangerous than the rapidly accelerating relationship I seemed to be getting myself into. I gutted my closet, threw out a lot of things, and washed almost all my clothes in hot water. I put the really fancy stuff in plastic bags, not to be opened till Christmas. Cam helped me go through each LP and sleeve and many of my books, but we found no bugs. I don't get it, I said. How am I still getting bitten? But then, over time, the bites began fading away, and then there weren't any new ones. By this time, I was delirious with lack of sleep and easing into a new love. Despite my earlier reluctance, I was nervous about being a rebound. I was nervous about being another one of Cam's relationship disasters. Rabid hormones and Cam's conviction that this would work out had worn me down, and we were now in the thick of it. But our relationship was very dramatic. Highs so high I couldn't see the ground. I love you times a million, he said. Forever. He really said stuff like this. And lows so perplexing and frustrating and devastating I could barely stand it. Hello, what's the matter this time, I'd say. I'm in my 30s. Relationships shouldn't be like this anymore. As I was thinking this, that's when I noticed that I had fresh bites on my arm. I called the exterminator in a panic. Hatchlings, Jeffrey said grimly. And he came back and resprayed and said to call him in a few weeks if the bites started up again. I bought a brand new mattress but woke up with 3 new bites the next morning. I had put double-sided tape at each leg of my bed and washed everything religiously, even things I shouldn't have washed in hot water, unfortunately. Things got really bad with Cam. He became emotionally distant, and I stopped being rational. I feel like you're about to leave me, I said. I will be with you forever, he said. He actually texted me that. A week later, he broke up with me. I just don't understand, I said. He said, it's just, we're too different. Like, you don't watch TV, but I watch it all the time. He really said that. We have been friends for a decade, I said. You already knew this about me. Why the fuck did you try so hard to convince me that we should be together? I got rid of every bit of him I could, but some things still lingered. It took me a year to get rid of the bugs in my home, which is 3 months longer than I lasted with Cam, and that's a long time to be sleep deprived. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. These are all the stories we'll be presenting tonight. Mari, Jen, and I will be signing our newest books. Feel free to hang around, talk to us, eat cat cookies, get early holiday shopping done at GR2 and support Small Business Saturday. Thank you so much, everyone.